I just wanted to take this time and thank you so much, Toshtica Royal Shades, for joining us here today on Aaron's Opinion. I know you do not know me well at all, and anything you do know about me, Aaron Richmond, Aaron Richmond from Aaron's Opinion, is through our great friend Gavin Gopi. So I'm going to say it in the intro track, but Gavin, thanks so much for connecting me with Royal Shades. Always great to have another exciting guest. So, who are you? Who is Toshtica? Who is Royal Shades? Just walk through your life story, the blindness, the art, the singing, and we'll just go with the flow from there. Go right ahead.
Wow. First of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. And thanks to Gavin Gopi as well for connecting me with Aaron Richmond. I very much appreciate it. Me. I am Toshtica, yes. The voice that you would love to hear, as I said before. I was born on the 1st of July 2001. And I was pretty much able to see. I was born with an eye condition called retinopathy of prematurity, or ROP as we know it. I was born at 7 months. And what happened was that I was placed in an incubator because I was born premature. And the oxygen of the incubator froze the lens of my eyes, and it also damaged the retina. So that's what happened to cause my blindness. As for my music, I started at a very early age, around about 1.5 years, singing Three Little Birds by Bob Marley.
Oh, love that, love that, love that, love that. Mm-hmm. And
so I started singing.
And by the way, you know that you aren't getting out of here today without singing, right?
Oh,
whoopsies, didn't tell you. I hate it when that happens.
No problem. No problem.
Very good, very good. So you started. So your love for music began with Three Little Birds, Bob Marley, right?
Yes, it is.
So good. And then how did your music grow from there?
Well, I started attending Pineapple Basic School, which is a school in the little district called Pineapple, where I was born in St. Anne. And what happened was I started playing the keyboard. So I started playing Mary Had a Little Lamb. And that's when I started learning the keyboard. Sorry, I don't set up mine today.
No worries.
But yeah, I started there. My music started growing by listening to classical music. I love classical.
Same here.
Especially the Mozart, the Chopin, the Tchaikovsky, the Debussy. I love Debussy.
Absolutely.
I love, oh my gosh, there's so much. The Schuberts, Herrick and Faulkner. Yes, a whole lot of them.
Well, I mean, I think to go back to something you said about your blindness. As I've already said, my name's Aaron Richmond. I was born blind with glaucoma. Now I have some usable vision, Toshtica. And what happened to you is actually what happened to a lot of people in the 1950s and 60s in the United States. Indeed, a lot of people became blind because they were kept in incubators and exposed to too much oxygen. Doctors didn't know any better in the 1950s and 60s, and they didn't realize the effect that oxygen has on the brain and the eyes, but it does.
Yeah, here in Jamaica is the same thing. I mean, we do not accept our here in Jamaica, we don't accept our disabilities sometimes. And as it pertains to the doctors do not have a knowledge of what could have caused the disability or what could have,
Mm-hmm.
given us this disadvantage of losing whether our sight, our hearing, our movements.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Sure. E- Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. That definitely makes sense. Both Gavin and of course I don't know if you know this or not, but of course I'm great friends with Culturama with Diva, and both of them became blind through medical malpractice as very small babies or small children. So it's a
Yeah,
huge problem.
I heard
Hmm.
about it.
Yeah, it's very common all over the world, not just in Jamaica. But let's dig into some of the work you're doing today with your music and your acting and your voiceover. So you were saying how you do some acting work, voiceovers. Talk about that for a bit.
Yeah,
Tell us about it.
I do a little bit of voiceover, Erin.
Okay, so specifically, what voiceover work do you do? That's a wonderful field to get into. Talk
so
about it.
so I acted in a play series with one of our very own Gavin Gopi.
Hmm.
And I never saw it coming. I played Brandy, which is a witch doctoress in a way. So she does a lot of what we in the Caribbean would call obia per se. And I am one of the chaotic, traumatic scene players. Very much I do everything as it regards changing my voice, thrilling my voice, doing a whole, as long as it pertains to me doing my voice, it's okay.
Right. So, can you go into more detail and tell us more about this show and this series and exactly what it was and how it was set up?
Pardon?
Can you tell us more about the series and like go into more details about the plot and the series and all of the characters and things like that?
Okay. So, I never saw it coming, as I said, is a series that has to do with some ancestral traditions, cultural traditions. It's a mixture of South African and Jamaican and Caribbean traditions. So what basically happened in the movie is that one of the men want to have all the girls. And in order for him to have all the girls, he feels that he should sleep with them and ensure that all of them get pregnant for him, not Brandy. Because Brandy herself is a killer. Yep.
I see. I see. Okay. And you said that you, as a voice actor, when you were so I never saw it coming. Was this like like a movie that people were seeing like in the theater in Jamaica, or was it like a TV show or a YouTube series? Like, how was it distributed?
No, so what we're in the process of getting it out there.
Hmm.
We are still in the recording process of I Never Saw It Coming season 1. We're actually on episode 12, and after episode 12 we run into season 2.
Okay. So this I never saw it coming. Will it be like on Netflix, or in other words, how will people like actually go about watching the series?
Okay. That's a good question. As I said, we are not sure how we're gonna get it across just yet. Because we're just starting. But I know we'll be on YouTube, and we basically are gonna have a tour in South Africa shortly.
Hmm. Okay. So maybe you're going to go to, maybe the intention is that you're going to go to a film festival in South Africa and show the film there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, that's very exciting. That's really, really fascinating. And who wrote I Never Saw It Coming?
The person who wrote I Never Saw It Coming is Bill Khadev, which is also a scene actor. He's from South Africa, by the way. Um, he's known as Dollar Bill the Great in the script, and trust me, he writes the script with so much suspense and drama.
Right. So he's a very skillful screenwriter. You're right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If
Okay.
you
Well,
say
that
so.
now let's get back to your Royal Shades ability. So
Oh yeah.
you say that you like to do different voices and do different voice talent. So give me some of your different voices.
Okay. Did you say you want a voiceover? Huh?
Yes,
Here is
exactly.
one.
Okay, that's one that's
Hello. Hello, Aaron.
yes.
I'm Google.
That's pretty that's yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
have the Siri one. The Siri one is
Let me hear your Siri.
Hi, Aaron. Can I help you with anything?
Yeah, that's pretty close. That's
I'm
that's
still
really good.
perfecting. I'm
Yeah,
still
yeah, it's
perfecting
hard.
that one.
It's hard. You have to watch. I forget who the actress is who voices Siri, but she's on YouTube and you can watch her videos and hear how she talks. Like you can see her face talking. So it is a person. So that's really
Yeah.
incredible. So what voice did you use in I Never Saw It Coming?
I use my natural voice, this one, and sometimes I use a little bit of the Royal British. A little bit
Okay.
of dark, deep Brits.
I see. So sometimes you like to kind of put a British accent over
Kind of.
kind of. Yeah, yeah. Or sometimes you would just like to use your beautiful Jamaican accent that you already have, right?
Hell yes.
Very good. Very good. Very nice. Very nice. So what other characters like have you acted and what other characters do you hope to play as an actress?
Well, I am about to play a Russian character in I Never Saw It Coming season 2 as
Okay.
a Russian female mafia.
I see. So you're gonna get to play the mob boss, maybe
So,
a female mob boss. Right. That's very interesting. Hmm.
well, not really the mob boss, but I am a part of a mafia. I will be protecting Dollar Bill the Great,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
Gavin Gopi, who plays Jeffrey in
Mm-hmm.
I Never Saw It Coming, will be my boss,
I
Mr.
see.
Dominator.
I that's very funny. That's really, really interesting. Okay. Now, outside of I Never Saw It Coming,
Yeah.
can you talk to us more about your projects? Your projects that, in other words, your projects that like, truly belong to you that you write or that you're working on just for yourself.
So I'm writing songs. Um, Still practicing my keyboard, as I said before in earlier conversations. I'm actually doing a classical kit. Yay.
Okay. Okay. And what would this classical kit include and entail?
Just a couple of me playing other playing my piano arrangements or keyboard arrangements, as it were, um as how I would play it if I were in an audience.
Hmm. Okay. Now, how many like tracks and songs have you written and like published yourself?
Well, they are not published just yet, but I started to record them. I
Hmm.
have one called Want to Know You More. which was recorded yesterday. Which I don't remember all my words.
Well, okay. Well, before I put you in the hot seat, before I put you on the spot, so do you have at this particular moment, do you have a record deal right now?
Yes, I do. Basically, I'll be
Good.
working with one of the top producers of Jamaica, in the person of Clyde Davidson. He has produced many top tracks like 80s and 90s track, and trust me, I have started working with him, and it's amazing. Wow.
Oh, really? Well, that's wonderful. I'm so glad to hear it. If you ever find that you need a reference for someone to contact in the United States, I do know someone in the record and music business who specializes in helping blind artists basically get record deals and get recognition and basically get into the music business. So if you ever in the future, if you ever want that information in the future, I would be more than happy to send you the website and you can reach out to a company here in the United States. Next question. I have no idea how that would impact or not impact what you're doing in Jamaica. That's that's not my place. That's not my business. But I do know that if you want to be connected with the music scene here in the States, let me know off air and I'll put you in touch. All right. And that
no
and
problem.
yes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, here in Jamaica, anything that happens in the United States as it regards to music happens here as it regards to music. So guess what? Baby, I got no problem, man. I got no problem, darling.
Okay, well, good. Good. Cool. I'll send you more info later. But all right. So, do you want to sing a couple songs, maybe that you wrote?
Wow. I thought I was prepared for this part, but I never saw this coming at all.
I saw it coming. No problem. No problem. No worries. No worries. Okay, fine. If you're a little
I'll do it though.
Okay, all right. Let's hear one. So tell us what it's called, and is this a cover or is this an original?
Okay, so I'll be doing a cover of one of my favorite songs.
Okay, this is a cover. Okay, so we do need to say this is a cover. Okay, go ahead and tell us what it is and who wrote it.
This is a cover of one of my favorite songs. It's All of Me by John Legend.
Oh yeah.
And the reason it's my favorite is because it speaks deep to the heart. I was gonna do Take It Slow as well. Ordinary People by John Legend, because I love his songs. I do. But I don't know which one of them to choose. Well, I'll do. Okay. Before I do All of Me, I'll be doing Ordinary People, a cover of it.
Okay, a cover of Ordinary People. Okay. And so is that also by Legend who wrote Ordinary People?
Yeah. John Legend.
Okay. All right. So this is Toshtica's cover of Ordinary People by John Legend. Okay, go ahead.
Boy, I'm in love with you. This ain't no honeymoon. Past the infatuation phase. Right in the thick of love. At times we get sick of love. Seems like we argue every day. I know I misbehaved. You made your mistakes. We both still have room left to grow. Although love sometimes hurt, I still put you first, and we make this thing work. But I think we should take it slow. We're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go. Hey, 'cause we're ordinary people. Maybe we should take it slow. Take it slow. Oh, this time we'll take it slow. Take it slow. This time we'll take it slow. Take it slow. Maybe we live and learn. Maybe we'll crash and burn. Maybe you stay, maybe you leave, maybe you return. Maybe another fine. Maybe we won't survive. Maybe you grow, we'll never know. Baby, you and I, we're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go. Hey, 'cause we're ordinary people. Maybe we should take it slow. Take it slow. Oh, this time we take it slow. Take it slow. This time we'll take it slow. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. That was the cover of Ordinary People by John Legend, right? All right.
Woo!
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. You definitely need to keep writing and singing because that was perfect. Really, really well done.
Thank you.
You know what? I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your voice on some traditional reggae, some traditional music from Jamaica, some of the famous ones from your country. I want to hear your full Jamaican accent on a full, beautiful Jamaican song. What do you think?
Okay. So I'll be singing, see as you want to hear Jamaican, I'll be singing Clean Like a Whistle by Chronics, another of my favorite songs. Which is not only good for this section, but maybe good to show off my real voice.
Well, let's hear your real voice. So this is your cover
Here we
of
go.
that song. Okay, go ahead.
If you hear me when I say, put your lighters in the air. Lighters in the air. If you know your heart clean like a whistle. Like a whistle, clean like a little whistle. Hey, me and my brother, them good. Me never grudge Teflon. Family me deal with me born, yes man. In a interview, them have no question. One know where me born now, where me come from, tell them. Then I Vegas same time. That's why me born right on the train line. Send on the house, can it same time. If a food rush, you know me wish your mind. Whoa, me see your lighter. If you know, so you feel alright. Me say love defeat all evil. That song you have to clean out people. You know hear me when I say, put your lighters in the air. Lighters in the air. If you know your heart clean like a whistle. Like a whistle, clean like a little whistle. Hey, not going anywhere.
Loved it. Loved it. So yeah, that was really, really, really good. I love the way that the way that you were able to put in your Jamaican personality into that piece. You definitely have a perfect voice either way, but I absolutely love the way that you approached that piece. That's really your voice. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then how
But
about
I'm not good with singing part one though.
Oh, you don't think you're singing good at singing the famous Jamaican pieces? I think you're very good at singing those.
No, I mean I know I sound good, but I'm not good with singing in part one itself. I don't know why.
What do you mean there? I'm not sure what you mean.
It tends to sound weird when I sing in the Jamaican Creole itself. But yeah, I
Ah,
love singing in it. I
I be-
perfect it somehow.
yeah, 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 yeah. It sounded perfect to me. Can you remind us just for the recording? Can you say what that one was called again? That was a cover of what is it called?
The cover of Clean Like a Whistle.
Thank you. By who? By who? By
Chronics.
X. Excellent. Perfect. Perfect. All right. All right. All right. How about one more? I think it's fair to sing three songs. How about one more? It can be a song from that you wrote, an original, a cover, anything from any part of the world.
All right. So I'll be singing one of my original songs.
Okay, this is an
This was
original.
written
Go right
back
ahead.
this was written back in 2018 called Good Intentions with a friend of mine called Aji Anderson. I have to shout out to him and shout out as well before I do to my other half of me. Yes, you heard my other half of me, Gavin Gopi, who really influenced me to write this song, one of my faves, called Good Intentions. Here we go. I wonder if you can come over tonight, 'cause I'm so all alone. Need you to hold me and squeeze me dry. Don't call me on my phone. Me know say you really, really love me, and you wouldn't put no one above me. Baby, me really, really need you. I love you too. Uh, every day I wish you were by my side. Yeah, 'cause you know I love you, baby. And that's no lie. You got good intentions. Intentions for you. Me know me want it. And you're more than want it too. Alright. Got good intentions. Yeah. Intentions for you. Me know you want it. And me more than want it too. Got good intent. Feel the pain and I don't care what all of your friends may say. All I want is for you to take my pain and my stress away. Hey, you are my love, you are my heart, you are my baby from the start. I wish I'd tell you, but I don't know how to explain. Got good intentions, intentions for you. Me know you want it, I mean more than I want it too. Got good intentions, intentions for you. Me know me want it, and you're more than I want it too. I've got good intentions. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, that's wonderful. In fact, if you have produced that song, Good Intentions, if you want, you certainly do not have to, but if you want, you can send it to me in an MP3, and then actually I can include it in the podcast if you want. So anyway,
I
yeah.
I
Oh yes.
will.
Oh, excellent.
I will
Very good.
actually have a recording of it.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you have a recording later today, later on, you can send me that. You can just send it over WhatsApp as in an MP3, and then I can easily put it into the podcast, and then we can. That would be a really really good thing for people to listen to your original with professionally produced and everything like that. So that's really good. So anyway, this whole character of Royal Shades. Well, whose idea was that? How did you develop the character of Royal Shades? Mm-hmm.
Good question. Um, the character of Royal Shades was developed back at Salvation Army School for the Blind and Visually Impaired, my alma mater. Shout outs to all of you over there. So what happened was I was walking alone on the school corridors going to the music department because I normally practice a whole lot. And while walking to the music room, I remember walking alone and somebody stopped me and be like, the queen is here. Like the queen is here. Like the vocal songbird, the singing bird, the queen of all voices is here. And I'm like, hmm? What? That surprised look on my face. Like, I sing, but I don't say I sing better. And the person be like, your voice brings shades upon shades of smiles on everybody's faces. So I'm like, okay, then why not say royal shades? Because of the personality I bring around, the character I portray, the infectious, contagious personality that I bring to the table. Yeah.
Well, and that is so good that your personality is so royal and infectious. It just kind of sends, it just makes a shade of happiness kind of around the room. That's really cool. That's really interesting. Um, I mean, I'll tell you a little bit more about Aaron's opinion and what was happening there. What was going on was I was listening to podcasts in the blindness community
Mm-hmm.
from all over the world, and I noticed that they just were not really as open-minded as I wanted them to be. And I'm a teacher by trade. So I love educating people. I
Oh,
love talking to people and having conversations. So I thought, well, why don't I just record my conversations and see how it goes? Well, next thing I know, I have a podcast, it's on a radio station, and things have kind of built up,
wow.
as they go along, right? So, one thing, you'd always be surprised, or what's the expression? You would be surprised where your voice can go as long as you push record and send the right message to the right audience. You never know. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, one of the things that we as musicians take for granted is that our voices are instruments of whatever we portray. So if you portray the guns, you are influencing others to bring the guns. If you portray peace, you're bringing others to bring peace. If you're whatever you do, sing what you portray.
R- right. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. As we say, sing from your heart. Sing from your heart and show
exactly.
people who you truly are and what you truly believe. Well,
That's right.
very good. Very good. And what have you done, in the podcast radio realm? Have you gotten yourself into that?
Oh yeah, I was on UVC for a time on United
Oh,
Vision Connect.
I know
Shout outs
Rocco,
to
to
UVC
Rocco
team.
and King Rocco, of course. Shout out to him. Mm-hmm.
King Rocco, DJ G Fire, the whole works of them.
Okay. Very good. Mm-hmm.
So I used to host a program called Talk It Out. I'm sure
Mm.
Gavin would have told you about that.
He's told me that there's a lot of information about both of you. So we've heard of Talk It Out. Yeah, he's mentioned that one. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, from 5 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
Jamaican time, which would have been 6 to 8. Um, your time.
Right.
And what happened was that I remember how it came about was us talking about child support. And we brought up the topic, talk it out. So I'm like, okay. Um our other counterpart was Kadim Irish, which never took much part, but yeah, he was a part of the whole team. So shout outs to him as well. I did journalism on UBC in the news department, representing Jamaica, um, bringing what happens here to the overseas world. So, not that bad after all. I enjoyed it there though.
That is wonderful. You know that I've interviewed King Rocco. And I've also been to St. Lucia before. I've never been to your wonderful country of Jamaica, but I have been to St. Lucia. So yeah, I'm kind of familiar with your region of the world and what life is like down there. You guys have a wonderful way of life down there. Definitely. Hmm.
Ah, yeah, I can say so myself.
Well, well, we'll say,
Play
well,
a whole lot of ring games. Back here in Jamaica, down in the country, we would play ring games because I'm in the city now. I'm in Kingston. So back in the country, we play ring games. We play a ball game called Dandy Shandy, same as volleyball or netball per se.
I see. I see. Hmm. Hmm.
And we do a whole lot of ring games, as I said before,
Well,
cricket.
what are
But
ring
because of
games?
technology, we forget our roots.
Right, right. But
So
what
ring
are
games
ring
is like
games? Yeah.
ring games is when you hold your hands in a circle, like you form a circle,
Hmm.
and there's a person in. So the circle is called the ring. So the
Right.
person is in the middle of the circle, and we sing songs like, for instance, here comes Aaron on his pony, riding on a big fat pony. Here comes Aaron on his pony. This is what they told me. Back to back to back. You choose a person and you do whatever the song says. That one.
I
You do a
see.
whole lot of
So,
them though.
mm-hmm, hmm. Right, right. So sort of that's kind of what they had. That's what you would do for entertainment in Jamaica before you were listening, before they had UVC radio and Royal Shades and Aaron's Opinion. That's what came before our entertainment of today. Right. Hmm.
Yeah.
I see. I see. That's wonderful.
Or
That's
we
so good.
listen to music. We listen to
Now,
music too sometimes.
outside of the other question I have is though is like outside of Kingston, were you born in Kingston?
No, I was born in St. Anne. I
Saint
was born
Anne.
in the parish of St. Anne.
Okay.
Um, I lived in St. Mary and then I moved back to St. Anne at 18. And then I moved to Kingston just 2 months ago.
So what can you tell me about living in the countryside of Jamaica as opposed to and in comparison to living in Kingston in the capital? What can you tell me?
Okay, now living in the country, we have a lot of bushes, a lot of trees. It's a little bit quiet down there. In some parts of the country, it's quiet.
Well, that's good.
But when you're in Kingston, Kingston is like the city that never sleeps.
I see. So in
So
Kingston, are there like, mm-hmm,
we party, we have a vibe. There are trees here, but they're not as much bushes as it
mm,
is in the country.
right, right. I see. I
Yeah.
see. So in Kingston, is there like a lot of public transportation and like city noise, like 24/7, like that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I've always gotten the impression that well, so, I mean St. Lucia is a wonderful place, but Jamaica is a lot more built up. And Jamaica is a lot more urbanized than St. Lucia, right?
Yeah, I can say so. Because we
Right.
have a lot of beaches here as well. Lovely beaches, the lovely view.
Mm-hmm.
And apart from Jamaica being basically, some people think that Jamaica is only known for the crime and violence and the crime and violence and Usain Bolt. Um, there is a lot to Jamaica
Sure.
more than Usain Bolt and Shelley and Fraser Price, as you all know. Shout outs to my athletes here in Jamaica, though. But I mean, if you want to know Jamaica, you have to come to Jamaica to know Jamaica.
Right. Oh, definitely. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, that is definitely the
And
case.
I would
Mm-hmm.
advise anybody to come to Jamaica, but please ensure guys that you come safely.
But please do what and what I say it into the microphone. I didn't quite catch that one. What?
I I would invite anybody to come to Jamaica, but please ensure you come safely. corona-free, mask on, your
Please
vaccines.
be sure. Please be sure
Yeah.
when we do visit your wonderful nation, please come healthy. We would say in American English, please come healthy. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
see. I see. Sure.
We would say in Jamaica, we'd say in Jamaica, um, we'd say walk safely or stay safe. Yeah.
Right. Right. Come. Be healthy. Good health. Come in good health. Like that. Yes.
Be healthy.
Right. Right. Okay. Very good. And have you gotten your vaccine?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And so have you gotten your vaccine for COVID?
Not yet. Not yet. Um, I don't know. There are two vaccines here in Jamaica. I mean, I don't know which one to take, which one is of the importance, or should I say, which one will cause less damage,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to chance it until we have another option.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure, sure. Mm, definitely. That's very, very good. Mhm. Excellent. Um, so do you, in particular, do you have your own podcast where you speak about certain issues that are important to you?
Um, Actually, I'm in the process of creating or recreating my Talk It Out
Right.
page, so we can start talking things out that are necessary to us as not only blind and visually impaired persons, but um other people as well. Capable, not capable, I don't want to use that word. Everybody that will benefit everybody and anybody all across the world.
That's so good. That's really, really excellent. And where have you traveled to overseas outside of Jamaica?
I wish to travel. I haven't started just yet.
Okay. Well, where are some places you would like to go?
I'd love to go to Rome. I'd love to come to the United States, especially to the capital Rotunda, because I am really, really interested in knowing what lay there in the Rotunda.
Wow.
I'd love.
I know exactly what you are speaking of. At this point, given everything that's gone on, um, I don't think people are even allowed in there anymore. I don't think the public is allowed to go into those
Yeah,
places.
after the insurrection on January 6th, I don't think.
Right, and that's one little fact. That's one little thing. That is the case. And for many, many, many reasons, it's just Washington. I mean, you can. Toshtika, you can come to Washington D.C. and do the tourism things and go to the
Oh yeah.
museums. But when you start like walking too close to the federal buildings, there's soldiers that will like kind of come up to you in plain clothing and just ask you to go another way. Like they'll kind of redirect. You can't really walk in that part of the city
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah, yeah.
For
I would
for safety reasons, yeah.
exactly, and I pray that Kingston is the same way. I hope that if I was lost in Kingston and I accidentally walked too close to the embassies, I hope that someone would come out and say, "Excuse me, sir, why are you walking in this part of the city? You don't need to be here." I hope that they have good
Yeah,
security in
or
Kingston, right?
some people are like that. You can ask them, excuse me, sir, or excuse me, miss, can you give me the direction to such and such a
Hmm.
place?
Yes.
And they
Yeah.
will tell you.
Hmm.
But we Jamaicans, I'm gonna tell you, we really don't necessarily know how to give direction. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we'd say
You
like
would give
walk up the road,
landmarks.
turn
Hmm.
right, round the corner, up that road.
You know what? That's very common in your region and in many parts of the world. This is common.
Yes.
So rather than actual street addresses, which I'm sure in Kingston they have physical addresses, but in a lot of parts of the Caribbean, if you ask for directions, they'll say, "Well, past the palm tree, go down until you see this guy
Yes.
selling beer."
That's so true.
Right, because you know why? Because when you live in a relatively small place, a small island, you don't need a big grid. You don't need to give addresses. You just need to tell people where to walk. So that's where that.
Right.
But Americans are thrown off by that and don't really understand that in your part of the world that you are giving directions. That
I
is appropriate.
know.
I know,
I mean,
because Americans are used to addresses, number one Cherry Lane, 50 feet away, then you make an immediate right
yeah.
on such and such boulevard. But in a lot of countries, that's just not how it is. They just give directions, give visual directions. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, another thing I want to do is to ring one of those bells, like the tower bells. I'm interested in Washington National Cathedral's tower because the way it was
Excellent.
it's set,
So good.
it's like
So good. So you have educated yourself about my capital, right? You clearly have. The National
sad to
Cathedral.
say, yes.
I'm very proud of you. Thank you for being informed. It's so good. National Cathedral does do tours. I've been in there before. They're very nice. It's a very interesting tour. You might be able to take a tour of the National Cathedral, but I'm not sure. But yeah, they could if they understood that you happen to be blind and it was your dream to ring the bell. I'm sure they would actually let you do that. That seems like something that's reasonable that they would let you do that. Yeah, probably.
Sure.
So like in Kingston, like what is the most famous building in Kingston, like the landmark of Kingston?
Pardon?
What is the most famous landmark or the most famous building in Kingston?
Wow. There are many. There is a National Heroes Park, there is Emancipation Park, there is the King's House, there is Port Royal, entire Port Royal. There is oh wow. There is the banana plantations in St. Mary, where I was proud to live at. There are there is the Green Grotto Caves in St. Anne. Wow, there are Reach Falls, Portland, Duns River Falls, and there are so many.
Right.
So many.
Oh, that is so good. That is so good. What is your favorite building in all of Kingston?
Oh hell, that's a good question. Wow.
Or maybe a better way is because I love food. What's your favorite? What is the most famous restaurant in all of Kingston?
Well, you have KFC or
No, no,
Kentucky
no,
Fried
no. I
Chicken.
meant
Oh,
no.
we have
I meant
Chinese restaurants.
that's interesting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have
Yeah.
Sakura or Little Tokyo. I
Really?
love eating by Little Tokyo. It's
Really?
amazing.
That's so you have a some neighborhoods in Kingston where
Yeah.
Japanese or Chinese
Because
people
as
live.
I said in an earlier conversation, in the earlier part, I'm a Chinese and German by my father's side. So I eat a whole lot of Chinese food and pepper. Yes.
I see. I see. And so how many languages can you speak fluently?
Yo hablamos español.
Mm-hmm.
Je parle français.
Je parle français également. Oui. Mm-hmm.
Si, si. I mean, oui, oui.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still learning other languages. I'm learning to speak Zulu from South Africa,
Yeah.
Xhosa from South Africa,
Yes. Yes. Gavin mentioned that.
Afrikaans South Africa,
Hmm.
Arab,
Arabic.
Arab
Uh-huh.
from
Ar-
Egypt, from
okay.
Ethiopia.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Um, I really would love to speak Arabic. them.
I see. I see. Now, why do you want to learn these languages? Do you want to do you want to connect with other content creators who speak those languages? Why?
I mean, oh, I miss that I speak German, a little bit of German.
Oh, that is good. That is good.
But the reason is I'm very interested in speaking to other speakers of that language. So I want to be able not only to communicate in English, but to communicate in other languages like Swedish. Oh, I love Swedish. Svenska.
That's interesting. Where,
Um,
how did you discover the, Swedish and Swedish culture?
ah, so I subscribe to a channel called I subscribe to a YouTube person called Lucas Brar,
Hmm.
which does guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, if you wanna learn Swedish or hear Swedish, speak about Lucas Brar and wow.
Right. Right. I see. I see. Well, that's very, very interesting. I'm sure, in fact, Gavin knows some content creators in South Africa, but I mean, I'm sure there are
Ah,
many. I'm sure there are many content creators in South Africa. Hmm.
yes, there are. And trust me, I'm subscribed to most of them.
Mm. It's very, very, very interesting. Sure, sure.
Yeah.
And when you're not doing all of these things, what are your hobbies?
Reading,
Hmm.
music, music, reading, music, reading, music, reading. Yeah, that's
Okay,
me.
okay, all right, all right. So, what are some of your favorite books to read?
Ooh, I love to read books that talks about mafia, books of magic like Harry Potter. I love the Harry Potter series. The
Same
Sword of
here.
Truth, the Sword of Truth, pardon, the Sword of Truth series as well.
Hmm. Oh, who's the most? I've never really asked this. Who's the most famous Jamaican author? Someone who wrote really famous books in Jamaica.
Um, if you talk about books, um, I don't know any Jamaican famous authors. Louis Bennett and Claude Monet, not Claude Monet. Yeah, is a very important or two very important rather persons in our Jamaican history. Claude
Hmm.
Monet and um Louis Bennett because they do a lot of poetry
Mm-hmm. Mm.
and they're very famous comedians as well here in Jamaica that if you hear them you would, as in Jamaica we say, skin all your 32, which means laugh.
Yeah, as in all 32 teeth would be chattering and laughing really hard.
Yeah.
Yes, I love comedy. I love comedians. Mm-hmm.
Then I will introduce you to Oliver Samuels, to IT and Fancy Cat, which are Alton and Owen Ellis. Um, Introducing you to Louis Bennett as well, who is a comedian. Introducing you to who else? Comedy. Wow, there's so much. Delia Harris. Wow, there's so much of them.
There are so many of these fascinating people. Sure, sure.
Yeah, man.
And what can you tell us, by the way, about Jamaican radio and Jamaican radio stations? I mean, UVC radio it's actually an American station, by definition.
Yeah,
So what about, like, what's your favorite radio station there in Jamaica?
that's a good question because I don't like listening to radio, but when I'm listening, I'm either listening to gospel stations or Fame 95.
Mm-hmm. I I see. I see. Very, very, very excellent. Um, well, that is all really, really good. So what are some, I mean, I've been asking you a lot of questions over this last nearly hour now. What are some questions? What are some questions that you really want to? What do you really want to know about me?
Wow, I'm so interested to know a lot about the United States, especially I'm always interested in your changing of the guards. When you guys do state funeral, the changing of the guards, yo, are amazing. Like how you
Mm.
guys do such.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I still wonder.
Yes, that is very interesting. So it sounds like you should also visit or try to visit. I don't know if you can visit it kind of as a tourist unofficially, but you should try to go to Arlington National Cemetery. You've heard of that place? Yes, it's another
I
famous place.
have.
Wow. Well, really good. You've spent a lot of time researching Washington D.C. Mm-hmm. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, yes, that
Here
is.
in
Mm-hmm.
here at the National Heroes Park, we do the same changing of the guards ceremony.
Right. Sure. Sure. Excellent. Excellent. That's really fascinating. Um, well, this has been, I mean, this has been an incredible, really an incredible episode, I must say. I do
It
have
is.
a couple final things that I want to say. For one, um, if you can ask me only one question and only one question more to really make me sweat, to see if I'm really worth my salt as a podcaster and content creator, what do you really want to know?
Okay. Mm, as a podcaster, what is your opinion on the way how the system of America is functioning now? As in how they are operating.
I think
What are
that
your views?
yes, I think that we have a wonderful country, an amazing place. Thanks to God, both of us come from wonderful countries. Um, I think that honestly, right now, we're going through a very, very, very challenging time with a lot of different issues in healthcare, in politics. So there's a lot of strife right now. There's a lot of unhappiness. But I really hope, God willing, that people will start to
Wow.
educate themselves more and more, and that over time we will overcome the challenges that we're having right now. So we have a great country, and
Agreed.
if any country can do it, America can, and that's a really important message. So that's a
Agreed.
and that was a wonderful question to ask. You're really into the culture and the politics and learning about the way people live their lives. That's so good. That's so good, Toshtika. So Toshtika,
Yeah.
so Toshtika, if someone wants to get in touch with you personally after listening to this episode, how can they do it?
Okay. There are many ways. One, I'm on Facebook at Royal Toshtica Shades, which is RoyalToshtica or Z. On Instagram, I am at Queen Shades _20 because I'm 20 years old. So yeah, that's me. And my telephone number is 876-490-4344. That's me.
All right, Tashtika. Well, thank you for joining us today, and know that you are always welcome here at Aaron's Opinion. All right, we will talk on WhatsApp, and we'll keep in touch over there. But until next time, thanks so much, everybody. That was a great episode.